What is up, guys? We are
Seeking Spirits.
And tonight we are at a very special location.
Hell yeah.
We are at the Saratoga County Homestead, or the homestead, if you will. But I'm super excited to be here. We've been wanting to come here for a long time. It's hard to get into.
I'm gonna shit my pants.
It's very scary, very dark. But
like literally, there's no lights.
Yeah, that is not all though, because we may have some special guests for you guys tonight. Maybe we might have brought Haunted Nights.
HauntedNightsEvents.com.
What's up? Buy the merch.
Buy the merch.
Put
Put the bell on.
Put the bell on. That might not be it.
Yeah.
We might have one more surprise.
We might have a little trick up our sleeve,
Just
if you
a
will.
little bit of a trick up our sleeves.
Yeah.
We might also have a Seeking Serotonin, possibly.
Yeah!
Let's go.
So yeah, we got all the homies together tonight.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be a very unhinged night. If you've watched any of our videos with any of these guys, you know how insane this is gonna be. So, but anyway, the podcast is basically gonna be a tour from Steve and Dylan because they fucking own this place basically.
They literally don't want to own this place.
They know more than anyone would ever know about this
Property
location.
management.
Yeah.
We're doing really well, as you can see.
Actually, they're doing great because they actually made me a foot taller.
Yeah. Magic.
Thank you. I really
That's
I really
TV magic
appreciate
for
that.
you.
Did you say TV or TB magic?
Oh,
Well, we'll get to that in a minute.
This just got dark real quick. But anyway, we're gonna hop into a tour of this location, some stories that they've had, because you guys have been here how many years? Like 5? Yeah, so they've seen everything there is to see, like I said. We're gonna hop into that, so we will catch you guys in a few minutes. Bye.
Hey, Miss John.
Oh, go fuck yourself.
I gotta leave that in and no one's like, what? Who's Miss John?
All right, so the Saratoga County Homestead started out in 1914. Originally, there was wooden hospital buildings up here. It was a TB hospital for anybody in Saratoga County that got sick, men, women, children. They would all come here. There was a wooden hospital until the 1930s. They had to build a bigger hospital, so they knocked the wooden hospital down in the 20s and built this one in the early 30s. They had the children's building at the far end, which we'll get to go to down there. So they had their own separate building for the kids. Basement, first, second floor on every single one. They're all separated in different areas. We're underneath the men's wing right now. So first floor and second floor above us is men's rooms. Basement didn't really have a ton of stuff for the patients. It was mostly laundry, that kind of stuff down here, maintenance. They did have a rec space where they had a card playing table, pool table, that kind of stuff, things that the patients could do without too much energy, you know. Then it's just admin section, women's, and then children's all the way down. It was a TB hospital until 1960. Then it was a nursing home from 1961 to 1979, and it's been abandoned ever since. So.
Like all the good haunted places, you know? TB hospital, then nursing home.
Yep, that's it.
Oh,
So
that's the pipeline right
it is
there.
the pipeline.
It is.
Yeah.
Literally.
between TB and the nursing home, they had about 1,000 deaths here. The historian that we met with for the county said she has records of them. She kind of just guesstimated based on like the average number of deaths per month that she was seeing. It was about 800 from TB and then 200 from the nursing home, which 800 for a TB hospital is actually not a lot back then, if
Yeah.
you think about it.
For the size
Waverly
of the
Hills,
county,
yeah. Waverly Hills had, what, 10,000? You know what I mean? We
Yeah,
had
that's
800,
true.
But Saratoga County was a much smaller county back then, so we did have a lot of deaths
In the middle of nowhere.
Correct.
So
Yeah.
that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Down here, we believe the morgue was as well. We don't have actual record that shows it was the morgue, but it has a drain in the floor and it's a tiled room, so chances are. It's also connected to the loading bay where all the trucks used to drive through. So chances are it was the morgue. But this building's been set on fire 3 times, so we don't generally go back there.
Yeah, it's kind of got some damage. But it would have been more for like holding bodies, right?
Yeah.
They didn't perform autopsies here and
Oh,
stuff, especially at the TB hospital. They had a pretty good idea of what you died from. So they didn't really do autopsies. They just needed somewhere to hold you until your body was claimed.
Yeah.
If nobody claimed your body, you would be sent to a cemetery in Boston Spa. They have like a Potter's Field grave for anybody that was wards of the county. So prison, poor farm, TB hospital. If you didn't have any family, that's where you went. There's rumors online that they were just thrown out in the woods and like buried out there. There's nobody buried on site.
Oh, wow.
That didn't happen here.
Just thrown in the woods?
Yeah, people said they were just leaving them out there, which is gross and not true. They had gardens and stuff out there. That was about it. Everything we know about this place, everybody loved their time here for as much as you could love being in a TB hospital. They did everything they could for the patients. They got 3 really good meals a day. They were eating like salmon, sirloin, like really, really good food.
Better than I do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Besides being sick, it wasn't a bad setup.
Yeah.
They had like scheduled nap times every day, snacks, all kinds of stuff because they thought good nutrition, fresh air, sunlight was going to be the way to fight it. So that's what they did here.
They had fresh food from the patient-run garden, and they also worked with the county poor farm, and that's how they got their fresh produce from there as well.
Damn.
So down here, as far as ghosts, paranormal.
Yeah.
This area of the building is one of darkest, and I don't mean like negative, I mean like pitch black.
Literal
you
seeing.
can't see your hand in front of your face. We have walked into the walls down here a number of times. We know this building really well. We can walk around in the dark pretty good, but there's been a number of times where we've walked into the wall. It's so dark down here, it's disorienting at times. This area down here behind us, that darker hallway, is where the maintenance room is. Our maintenance guy's name was Charlie Fishback. That is not a made-up name. That is not a name we got on an EVP. That is a documented person who lived and worked here. He lived here. He lived in an apartment above the powerhouse out back. He was here 24 hours a day making the place run. He's definitely still down here. We get a lot of stuff with him. He hates Dylan.
Yeah.
I wonder why he hates you.
Well, it's interesting because when I first started working up here, I was still in high school. So I looked like the kids who were breaking in here and trashing the place. So we think that he just kind of associated me with the people who were destroying this place. So
I look like a distinguished adult. So.
Yeah.
we're working on a relationship, all right?
Okay.
He
Mending
gets a lot
it
of
up.
screams. He gets a lot of screams on his voice recorder down
Okay.
here. Shadow figures are prominent down here. Phantom lights. We get a lot of lights down here.
Could use
noises.
a phantom light right about now. Can't see shit.
It's dark out here. When we were here with Sam and Colby back then, we chased flashlights through the basement. We thought people had broken in. Like we took off after it thinking people had broken in again, and there was nobody. There was no cars in the parking lot. There was nothing.
But then if you want to talk about time slips, what if it is someone who broke in 10 years ago, or they're going to break in 5 years?
Or it's us chasing somebody with flashlights.
Or in another timeline, someone is breaking in while we're in the building. Then
Yeah, we're chasing ourselves.
Oh, that's
Man, I'm
unwell.
fast.
Wait, I do have a question, because didn't you guys have a situation here where you were running a tour and you both came down here at the same time? Was that here? And
those
you?
are the jail.
Oh, it was a
Yeah,
jail.
the
We'll have to
jail.
talk about the jail.
Yeah.
Never.
But here we've had stuff where like I've seen Dylan and it wasn't Dylan. But again, we don't know if it's like, mimicking or doppelgangers. Or if it's just a
Doppelganging.
residual haunting, right? Like, is it just Dylan's residual haunting? We've put 5 years of blood, sweat, tears in this building. We spent 10 hours every Saturday and Sunday up here for 4 months straight, just shoveling dirt and cleaning stuff. We put a lot of time into here. So I'm sure we've left something behind, right? Like, it's possible. So who's to say we have to be dead for that to start showing itself?
That's
already?
true.
One Dylan's enough, though. So I'm good. But down here, Charlie's kind of the main thing down here. When Destination Fear was here, they caught the little kid's voice down at that end, saying, "Where's my family?" Which is pretty sad.
That's so depressing.
Yeah, if you think about it, if you're like 4 or 5 years old and you get brought here and dropped off and then you die, you don't know what happened, right? Like, you don't know why you were here. You don't really understand what's going on. So
That's so sad.
Shadow figures, voices, footsteps, lights, that all goes on down here.
Well, okay.
Charlie hating me, of course.
One thing we do want to show before we go out of here is just how fucking dark it is. So, Dustin, if you want to turn that light off real quick.
Wow.
You can't even see from next to you.
Yeah, I literally can't see Dylan, and
that's
he's
so-
like an inch away from me.
This makes me want to cry.
You turn the light back on, my hands on Dylan's ass.
We're gone. Turn the light on. She's the only one down here.
Yeah, she time slips.
No.
Oh, good. Okay.
In no timelines am I down here by myself.
Not a single
Not
one.
that you know of.
All right, so where's the next spot? Okay, so that's going to be a reoccurring theme tonight. And anytime we hear a car, we basically have to stop and wait to make sure they don't break in, because people break in here daily.
And don't break in, because we'll come and fight you.
So where can people come and do legal tours?
HauntedNightsEvents.com.
Okay, I didn't know if that was through your guys'
Yep,
website
we
too.
do
Okay,
it
so
all through there. They do have a Facebook page for the Saratoga County Homestead. We post a lot of the stuff there. We post it on our Facebook page as well. But the tickets are through HauntedNightsEvents.com. We do very sporadic tours based on our availability. We're in the state. We're never in the state, so we do it as much as we can. We have some this weekend. They sell out immediately every single time they're gone. We are going to be opening it up this year for groups to come in and rent out and investigate. People have been asking us for 5 years. We were waiting for certain things to happen. They don't look like they're going to happen, so we're just going to go forward with it now with the understanding that it's abandoned. It's been
you're going to have a
for 45 years. There's
hefty
no,
release form on that.
Yeah, there's no bathrooms. There's no power.
If you
nothing.
fall and break your neck, we ain't paying for
If
it.
it rains,
Guess what?
it's
You
gonna
signed
rain
that waiver.
inside, right? So it's like people have to understand that what they're coming into is not going to be a Madison Seminary. Or,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's no power. There's no doors. There's no windows.
Yeah.
There's
Well, it's
trees inside. So
Still
it's
cool
like,
that you guys are letting people come in here, because it's been like untouched for so long.
Yeah, there's
So
only been a handful of people. A couple TV, the Destination Fear, a couple of YouTube channels. You guys. Other dumbasses.
that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Hey, thanks for letting us come.
One of the girls who broke in here and spray painted got 2 felonies. So I wouldn't recommend breaking in.
Shout out Taylor.
Well, Taylor,
From the
was it worth it?
wow.
Dude, yeah, she got felony criminal trespassing and felony burglary. Because in New York State, burglary is unlawfully entering a building with the intent to commit a crime. So she came in here with the spray paint. That's burglary.
Damn.
She
Well,
spray painted her phone number on the wall, so the cop just called her.
Taylor, come on, girly
What's her
pop.
name?
Yeah, she spray painted her initials, which ironically are TB, actually, which is kind of
That's kinda
crazy.
funny.
I mean,
So
she made
those.
it a little too easy on him.
Yeah.
Though. I mean,
She did those. She did her Snapchat handle, which is her first and last name,
Nice.
and her phone number. Literally, yeah. It was like, here's my address.
here's my FICO score.
The cop literally was like, I'm just gonna call her.
this is my Carfax.
Literally.
He called her on the phone. And he's like, I have all of this information. You can either turn yourself in, or I will arrest you at work on Monday.
Well, the icing on the cake was she took pictures and then she uploaded it to Instagram, not a public account, and she tagged us in it.
So we saw her.
Oh,
I was like, man, somebody tagged us from the last tour. I was like, you weren't on the tour. You were
Much
spray
kid.
painting.
Well,
Oh,
shout out
you should-
Taylor for the fun stories. Hearts for Taylor in the comments. Hopefully she's
bars,
doing good.
Bars for Taylor in the comments.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna move on to like the next hot spot. Perfect.
Bye.
You guys like
That's
our matching
outtake.
gloves? Kyle's got them too.
And then
Kyle,
there's like,
don't flip us off, Kyle. Everyone's got them.
Kyle's not flipping us
Wow.
off.
He
we'll
was.
go fuck ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, I already gave you
They have to do solos.
No.
It's like the nose game, but they lost. with the gloves.
the glove game. Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
That's
Sorry, that was really aggressive.
Now you're definitely doing one.
four solo.
That's me for leaving.
We restrained her.
The cars. We took all the cars. Good luck.
If Dustin leaves, we got bigger problems.
He's got John. It's okay.
Shit.
Yo, John, you know who you are, and I swear to God, I'll fuck.
Okay, I think I might need to blip that, or you might get a felony.
She wants the video like, what the fuck, man?
She's gonna, John's gonna think it's him. You're like, what? What did I do? I'm not even there.
You know what you did.
Okay, so where are we at now?
The Saratoga County Homestead.
Oh, you.
We are in the lobby now.
Yeah, the lobby of the Saratoga County Homestead. So this is the main staircase. Behind us, just behind this wall, is actually the kitchen and the dining room for the patients. To our right over here is the men's wing, and to our left is the women's wing. So initially, when this place was in operation, they had two separate check-in areas. The men's was over here, women's was over here. And basically, you came in, you weren't supposed to see the opposite sex. It was just completely separated because they thought if one got influenza, for example, as influenza did go through here at one point, if the men's ward got the flu, it would affect them, but it wouldn't affect the women, it wouldn't affect the children. But it didn't really work out that way. You know, people still got sick and unfortunately passed here.
Also, influenza notoriously spreads through the gaze of the eyes.
Yeah, if you look at somebody, it's like, shit.
Oh, I got it. I
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, so that was here. They had couches here. We have some pictures of like nurses sitting on the couches, nurses on the stairs here. The front porch is right out these doors here, so that would have been the main entrance back in the day. This wall was added when they did the nursing home, fire safety. They had to put fire doors in. Same with like dropping these walls down. A lot of these would have been just open hallways. They have arch doorways that used to be in this area as well. But that was kind of just what was going on here. This is the admin section of the building. We're in the middle here. This is actually where we had really our first experience here. When we were investigating our very, very first night staying up here by ourselves, we were sitting right here. It was not even remotely this clean, so we were sitting on cinder blocks. It was terrible in here. First thing I remember I was talking about was how dark it is in here. We're like, man, we're never going to be able to see shadows in here. It's too dark. Like, you can see them when it's dark, but it's this dark, there's no way. And so we're talking about it, and I was looking down this way, and from the left side of the hall, coming across diagonally, I saw a really tall shadow person like walk. I thought it was somebody broke in.
It was above the threshold.
It was huge, and like I didn't want to say anything because I was just like, maybe I didn't see it, but then I saw him kind of like lean and look, and I was like, all right, shit, he saw it too. I was like, did you see that? And he's like, yeah. We legitimately thought it was a person. Like, we got up and walked around. There was nobody in here. I mean, it was clear as day. Somebody walked right across the lobby there. A lot of voices in here, footsteps again. You can hear a lot of things in this area because you're centralized. So you have the stairwell that's open to the second floor and down to the basement right here. Charlie's maintenance room is directly below us here.
Okay.
So we have a lot of stuff that goes on in this area. And again, it would have been a busy area when it was in operation. You got dining hall, you got the main staircase, you have both wings right here. So pretty populated area, pretty busy area.
Then directly above us is the theater as well.
Right. So another area, high energy, surgical, all that stuff's right above us. But this area too, there's a lot of emotion because a lot of people came through those doors and then leave. Right. So like once you come in and check in, this was a lot of people's. This was it.
The last
and
spot.
people lived up here for years, years and years before they died. Some people didn't die right away from TB. Everybody thinks you get it and you die right away. I know we have documented people that were up here over 4 years before they passed away. So this was their home. This was where they were. They didn't get to leave. They would wave to people out the windows. That's how they visited with family. So this is kind of an important area for that aspect as well. But
We've had people come on public tours and they say, I remember coming here for Easter and my grandmother used to drop baskets out the window because we couldn't actually interact.
That's the most depressing thing I've ever heard.
we
in my
know
life.
of, and like we've been putting together pieces of like the stories of the certain people that have lived and died here. Stories of people coming on the tours being like, I know my grandmother's room was the 4th on the right when you go down this hallway, and like finding that kind of stuff. And then I bought a house the year before we started working here in a different county. It's like an hour from here. And I started working up here the following year, and I was posting pictures. And the woman who lived in the house before me messaged me, and she said, "Hey, what is that building you guys are working on? It looks pretty cool." And I said, "Oh, it's a tuberculosis hospital in Saratoga." And she said, "Oh, my grandfather passed away at a TB hospital." She said it was called the Homestead. And I said, "Really?" And I said, "Do you have any pictures of him up there?" And she said, "Yeah." So she sent me a picture of her grandfather sitting outside in front of the wooden buildings before this was built. So it was pre-1937. So he was sitting out there, and he died here in 1940. So he was up here for about 4 years before he died.
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah. So
What
it's
a
just weird
coincidence.
connection.
Yeah, that's
Weird
like,
connection.
that's,
Yeah.
the homestead was calling you.
Yeah.
That was
Well,
part
weird.
of it.
That's what people say too, the buildings pick you.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Thanks.
Kyle knows. Kyle knows.
Yeah.
You're 100% right.
She looks so cozy.
Kyle was chosen. Yeah, we're all over here talking, and they're over there like
Yeah.
I'm quite comfortable.
in their
Cozy
comfies.
Kyle.
It's fantastic. You know what it is? I think it's these fingerless gloves.
The fingerless glove slay.
They
Okay,
really do a lot for
The
me.
fingertips would be too much.
like too much.
Yeah.
Just
You
the
gotta
right
be able
amount.
to.
I would be sweating.
Yeah.
You gotta be able to function.
Yeah,
Exactly,
100%. 100%.
Look,
This
I'm
is the
not,
move.
I'm not gonna lie though. It is so fucking dark. In
Oh,
here.
it's so
like
dark.
even up here. I look to the right and you
stupid
can
dark.
see like 5 feet.
Yeah, stupid.
Also, it's like
Psychologically-
eerily quiet.
That's what it's very quiet.
You're in the middle of nowhere, literally.
Literally.
No street lights, nothing.
You
up
will
here.
hear people run down the halls. You'll hear your voices.
Well, because psychologically, that's what builds into the haunting.
Can you move
too.
again? Okay, it was your shadow over there. I was
said,
like,
"I need to
"Whoa."
leave."
I was like, not behind me, baby. We gotta go.
I instantly
It's right
saw like
there
a
on the-
shadow,
yeah,
and I was like,
girlfriend.
"Oh no, yeah,
Shit.
wow."
Psychologically, that adds to the haunting though, because you're looking down this hallway, you hear something down there, but you can't see it all. You're like, is this a living person, which is one scary, or is this a dead
Yeah.
person, which is also scary?
I'd rather have dead.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yes.
Dead people doing. Are you doing it again?
That's all I did.
Okay, that was you.
Yeah.
It scared me so much
Nick's
this
on
time
edge
it
right
blocked.
now.
Well, no, it blocked out
solo's
the
gonna be really
whole
good.
door. You're
Sorry.
fine. I'm just on X
Don't even
Games
look at
mode.
the
Yeah.
I won't breathe, sorry.
Where upstairs?
Yeah, we'll go
Sounds
upstairs
good.
because we can hit shoulders upstairs.
Sounds good.
We can
Head
hit
up.
children?
Children
upstairs.
You heard it here first. Haunted Nights hits children.
Sir?
Sir? Listen, I hate kids.
Where are we at now?
Saratoga County Homestead.
We're
How
still
many
here.
times can we have a counter on how many times Steve's gonna do that joke tonight?
Ding.
That's 3. Pink.
Bing.
No, but for where are we inside of the homestead right now?
We're in the men's wing right now. So we're on the second floor men's wing. It's the same setup as downstairs.
We're in the men's room right now.
We're in the men's wing right now.
We're in the
I'm
men's
gonna keep it
wing.
100 with you right now, alright? We're in the men's wing.
Guys, I don't know if we're gonna even make it through these videos tonight. I'm not gonna lie.
At least we only have 2 more.
Nights in a row.
True.
2 more haunted nights.
And,
2 more haunted nights.
Whoa!
Haunted
Oh shit! They don't know that yet, though.
No. Surprise.
Surprise! Spoiler.
I think my ADHD might
Okay,
be more
yeah.
up.
Yeah.
This
I'm not
is,
arguing, guys.
yeah. They're stuck with us for 2 more nights.
We are in the men's room now.
Okay, so what happens in the men's wing here?
There's ghosts here.
So, okay, yeah, this area in particular is super important because if you guys have seen the Destination Fear episode, the shadow figure that ran across the hall was right here. So this is where it ran across the hall from that side to this side. They were about halfway down the hall that way, filming this way. It was right after they had heard a female voice. Dakota thought somebody had possibly broken in. He said, I don't have a gun, which I don't know why he would have a gun. But they were down there filming this way, and whatever it was ran across the hall here. It was so crazy because we had been up here all summer cleaning for that show. Like, we had a lot of stuff we had to do. It doesn't look like it, but we did a lot of work. And then he had gone to basic training the week after they filmed. So he was at basic when the show came out. It came out in October, and I remember we were having a watch party, and we watched it, and it was like the shadow figure was so clear, and we've seen so many things just like that up here. It aired in October. It was cold. It came out at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, whatever. It ended, and we were an hour away. I got in the car and drove up here that night, and I just stood here, and I was like, do it again, right? Like,
Yeah, you were like,
yeah,
I want to see it. Yeah.
because we've seen stuff just like that in this hallway. It's wild. This is a really popular area for shadow figures. If you're going to see them, this is kind of where they hang out, especially down at that end towards the solarium.
Yeah, I kept hearing like banging. Like, no? Okay, maybe not.
Big Bang Theory.
I hate it so much.
Solarium down there. Big room, open windows, fresh air, sunlight. That's kind of where they hung out, read books, that kind of stuff. We've seen shadows down there. The interesting thing is one of them we saw.
Scooby-Doo shadow.
Scooby-Doo shadow is what we call it. Because we came out of the theater. We used to do movie nights up here before it was this bad. And Halloween, we would do horror movie nights in the theater. I was just kidding. We sold nighttime tour tickets because we didn't buy the license for the movies. So we sold nighttime tours. There was a movie playing if you wanted to watch it. But we were ending the movie night, and we had come out after everybody was gone, and we were usually going to stay and do a live, and we come around the corner, and there was a shadow down here in the solarium because it was backlit because of the windows by like the moon. You could see it, and it was like we stopped because we thought, oh, somebody was trying to hide and stay after the movie and like investigate. So it stopped, and we stopped, and it literally went like this, and then like side like off to the side.
Oh,
It looked just it was like funny, but we were both just like. You know what I mean? Like it was just one of those things.
Oh, that's scary though.
It's weird.
The activity here is very intelligent too. One time we played Insidious, and we were packing up, we were getting ready to leave, and we started hearing the organ music play from the movie, and we're like, oh, that's kind of funny. And we got to this part of the hallway, he opens his laptop, it's completely off.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit.
We're like,
Oh,
oh,
no.
I'm scared.
so now they play the organ music here, huh? Neat.
We watched The Conjuring.
Yeah.
We got done with The Conjuring movie here, and everybody had left. Again, we were just coming around, picking up the last few things. We had lights set up and stuff, and we were standing there, and clear as day, we heard 2 claps, and I was like, brother, we're not trying to play games. Like, we're teaching them new things, and I don't like it. You know what I mean? But it was only after the movies that those kind of things happen, which was super weird. They are intelligent, and they pick up on that kind of stuff, but this is a hot spot.
So what we're
It's a
saying
no
is
for
tonight
me.
we should open our phone and start playing the Conjuring
100%.
clap and hide part, and then
Yeah.
see if we hear it again.
Yeah.
And then you should do a solo.
We've played hide and clap.
Yeah,
here.
I actually think that we should put it on multiple phones on every single floor, and you should just come in by yourself, no flashlight.
There's
I'll
an
die, I
idea.
think.
Stay tuned to see if I do that crazy dumb shit.
We've played hide and clap here before.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
We've played games where like,
Sticky note game?
yeah, you're right. So everybody writes their name on a sticky note. We have one person who's not playing. They come in and hide them throughout the entire building, and then you have to go in and you're not allowed to leave until you find a sticky note in the dark with no flashlight.
I was in here for like 3 hours.
He never finished it. He was literally in here for 2.5 hours. Like, all right, dude, you're done. We're bored. Like, we're standing outside waiting for 2 hours.
I was
He
on
never
live
found one.
too. I was like, I can't see any. They're like, you just passed one. I'm like, great, where?
I walked in. I went in one room. I was like, I get to go outside. I found one. It's cool though. We do that kind of stuff, and it does stir up activity. We've had a lot of activity in here because we were up here during COVID. We had a lot of activity that kind of tied into that. It was very similar, COVID and TV back then.
Yeah.
Like masks, isolation, that kind of stuff. Our friends, Resident Undead, Adam Kimball and them, they were up here during COVID filming, and he did an EVP session down the hall here, and he said, "Are you sick?" And they got an EVP back that said, "Well, are you?" Because he had a mask on.
So
So
interesting.
they're very aware of what goes on.
Interesting. So do you think like there's a lot of like, so there's intelligent haunting, there's obviously residual. Do you think there's like egregores or anything up here?
I believe so.
Yeah,
It's possible.
I think people are creating things because this place has been known as an asylum forever, and it never was an asylum. It's never been anything like that. People say that patients used to get abused here, and torture never happened. All we have is good stories about this place. But
Yeah.
if people are coming in and putting all that energy into it, I think that can get some stuff out. And it's been abandoned for 45 years, 47 years. Like, we know people come in here, they do Ouija boards, they do whatever else they do. They're drinking, they're partying. Like, people are doing crazy stuff in here all the time.
Well, actually, right before Destination Fear came here, we came up and it was in the middle of a pentagram. They had like 4 or 5 black candles set up, and they were like half burned.
It was
So
literally
people
like,
do stuff
it was
in
the
here.
day before they filmed here.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
So
Slay.
do you think there's anything like dark here as a result of those things, or?
We've gotten negative responses, but a lot of the times, like if it's an egregore, if it's something that was brought here, we don't think it's associated with the hospital because these are sick people. It's not.
Maybe like come and go kind of a thing,
I
but
also
nothing that
think
like stays here.
A lot of them are annoyed, right?
Yeah.
They've had this place to themselves relatively for 45, 47 years.
Mhm.
I think they're sick of the vandalism because we've asked them that. Do you hate how the building is? Do you hate all this stuff? It's been set on fire 3 times.
Yeah,
I mean, like, they're
that's
not
crazy.
just coming in and spray painting.
Right.
They're knocking out walls. They're breaking doors. They're ruining everything.
Tagging their Instagram handles.
Right.
Literally.
Taylor.
Shout out.
But it's weird.
One of our friends thinks there's nature spirits up here as well.
Oh, elementals?
Yeah.
Okay.
They can get kind of territorial too. So
Interesting. I do remember watching Kalani's video when you guys were up here, and I remember laughing because you were like a mad scientist in it, because you were like, shit's getting weird here. Like, what was that all about? Like,
So it was coming through. It was during the Essex in the basement with Savannah. It seemed like it's again that time slip thing. It seemed like we were talking almost to somebody that was here investigating in the future,
So
and
weird.
for some reason they were saying I owned it. I was like, well, no, that's wrong because I ain't. Sorry, I'm not buying this place.
What if
Oh,
they give
wow.
it to you
that
for
makes a
free?
lot of
Would
sense,
take it.
though.
Would not take this place if you paid me to.
Oh.
I mean, it doesn't have to be a lot of money.
You say that, but
No.
you love this building, don't
I
you?
love it, yeah, but it's not.
So what if they came to you tomorrow and said, we're going to tear it down or you can own it for $1?
I had fun. Now you can't do anything with it.
But
I
we
feel
could
like I
do
don't
we
believe
could do
that.
the
Yeah,
hot mess homestead.
I don't think
renovation,
you'd let him do that.
You
No,
can't.
I mean, because at this point, like, this is one of the last tuberculosis hospitals in the area that hasn't been either torn down or repurposed. The other one we were also trying to buy, but New York State sucks.
Thanks, guys.
You suck New York State?
Just saying.
You're rude.
What?
So I bet Taylor works for New York.
Yeah,
Right. He's like, this will show him.
Gotcha now. But yeah, so this is this could be a great living history museum. This could, there's so many opportunities that could come out of this building. Could have, yes.
It's not. You can't.
It would take a ridiculous
You
amount
would
of money
need, you
to
would
get
need
it.
endless money.
Yeah.
Because we got roof quotes before COVID happened, and the roof wasn't terrible. Roof wasn't insurmountable. It was amount of money that we could have probably raised,
Crowdfunded or something.
gotten a loan. You know what I mean? Like it could have
Yeah.
been done. The only problem is you can't put a roof on this building yet. You have to do all this structural work first, all the brick, all the masonry. That stuff's expensive. Like if you go outside, we'll show you, especially when it's daylight out. You're not putting a roof on this building. It would be millions of dollars before you could get to that point.
All I'm saying is I think the future ghosts might be onto something, the future investigators. I feel like
I'm going to own a place. It's just not this one.
I feel like it might fall into your hands for some
It's
reason.
cold here.
It's going to be close.
To be
the spot, too.
continued
Yeah,
on
we
that
don't
one.
have heat. That has a roof.
He will not buy it if it doesn't have heat.
That's the first order of business, putting in heat.
You
I would
couldn't
say we need
afford it.
windows.
If this video gets
Notice-
1 billion
You
views,
can see the moon.
Oh, shit.
The ceiling.
Okay, so what's the next spot we want to head to?
Right down to
Right down there? So we're
Real-
going to go right down there.
down to scary. Are you okay, Dustin?
Yeah, I heard a shuffle behind me.
He's just sucked on the stairs.
Oh
No, John's
Yep.
here.
It's been real.
my God. 5, 6, 7, 8.
All right, so now we're in the theater here at the Saratoga County Homestead. They had a projector in here, so they actually did movies in here. It was one of the only places in the area to watch movies. They actually raised money through selling blankets and hats and stuff to get themselves a new projector because they didn't like the one they were given. They didn't think it was good enough.
Pause.
Yeah.
They showed those blankets and stuff to people outside. Those people got tuberculosis,
But wait,
did they
there's
not?
more.
Yeah, it gets worse.
They
Trust
did
me.
movie nights with the public. So they would bring the public in for movie nights. They did their own form of social distancing. They had a rope down the middle, healthy people on one side, sick people on the other. And you know what happens with TV when you got a bunch of people in the same area? Job security. So they would keep bringing them up here. They would watch movies up here, that kind of stuff. You can still see the holes in the ceiling where the projector was. The projector was up there until about 10 years ago. Somebody stole it,
Rude.
which kind of sucks.
Wow.
But obviously a lot of damage in this room, but a lot of the plaster detailing and stuff still is intact, which is cool. The stage was our last major fire. That was 2018, 2017. Somebody set the building on fire and burned out our stage, which kind of sucks. But this is where we did the horror movie nights. We brought a projector up and everything like that. It was really cool. We blacked out all the windows. It was a good time. Good activity here. Voices, footsteps, a lot of energy, EMF detectors, that kind of stuff.
The theater adds to the haunting too, because you got to think all these people from the community are coming in and they're watching movies with their families, they're having a great time, and then they get to go home. Everybody in the hospital gets to sit here. They'll maybe see their friends they haven't seen in so long, and then they go home to be with their families, and they're stuck here.
But they're coming back up a few days later because
I mean,
probably.
that's
Yikes.
so unwell though, because didn't we were just talking about earlier how like on Easter they were like putting baskets down through the windows and they just thought, let's let them all watch movies
And
together.
they're like, wait a minute, why is everybody just coming to the movies as a patient?
That's kind of weird.
Maybe we should stop that. But the weird dynamic of this area too is they built it. Oh, hi, sorry. They built it the best way they could, so they crammed everything in. So you have the theater here, directly out this door to the right, across the hall is the surgical room. So you have people having procedures done over there while there's a movie going on here. Now they didn't do the major surgeries here. There was no like thoracoplasty where they're removing ribs and deflating the lungs. Those patients that were here had that happen, but it was at a bigger hospital in a different county. We weren't that big of a hospital, so we didn't have a surgeon on staff. But they would have that done and then come back up here. Mostly the stuff that went on there was like if you broke your leg or if you get stitches, like procedures like that would go on in there, but nothing crazy.
And then if that wasn't bad enough, surgeries were over here. The X-ray room is out the other door, and people were finding out whether they were going to live or die, essentially, from the
Yeah.
X-ray room.
That's the most important room in the building to me. That's where all
Yeah.
the emotion is. Again, you're looking at a piece of paper and they're saying you have no shot or
Yeah, I heard that.
It's probably fine. Yeah.
you have no shot or hey, you have a chance. Let's try to treat you.
Wow.
So that was all right across the hall here. And then again, you have people happy over here watching movies, and somebody else over there just found out they might die the next week. You know what I mean? So
Wow. You get a lot of stuff in there, I'm sure, right?
yeah, this whole area, this whole middle section is great to hang out in because you can see down both halls, and there's a lot of stuff that goes on.
We're definitely going to be in these spots then tonight.
Let's go to the children's wing.
Let's go.
Children!
Possibly human feces. I don't know.
Okay.
Excuse me, what? Did
Somebody
you shit
shit
on?
in our parking lot a couple years ago.
Yeah.
We are leaving that in.
Right outside the door. Definitely looked like an emergency though, so I feel for him. Shirt and everything. I was like, brother, you okay? Like, I appreciate you getting out of the building at least. Like,
Wow.
Go.
oh, they went.
Oh no.
Because we came up for a tour one day and it was like, hot like July day. And
I was like,
why is there a
yeah.
shirt?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We didn't step in.
Where's the
I was like, yeah. We're like, why is there a shirt in the middle of the parking lot? I'm like, oh,
That's pretty gross.
That's
good luck, soldier.
And this one, I just thought it was a shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so
for sure.
what is this spot now? Put it on. You're like,
quick. Gross.
Layer up. Why is it slimy?
So now we're in the children's wing. This is actually the oldest part of the building. It was built in the 20s because basically parents reached out and they said, to try to help cure tuberculosis, you have to sunbathe practically nude. And I don't like having my kids around a bunch of adults. It's kind of weird.
Makes sense.
So they built the kids' wing, and in 1937 they built the main building that we just came from. But we get some really interesting activity down here. They like things that light up. Just think about what kids would probably enjoy.
Yeah.
The music box, REM pods, stuff like that. There's also a nurse down here who doesn't seem to like visitors. We've been told by multiple psychics that come through that she just kind of stands in the corner and just watches us. Like, you shouldn't be down here. Because historically they would have kept everyone out of here. It would have been just kids.
Makes sense.
So,
And usually when we're in here, it's the middle of the night, right?
True.
If they're on the same timeline as us, they're
Yeah,
like, why are
never
you
know.
down here in the children's wing in the middle of the night? They said she's not like evil or threatening. She just is like keeping an eye out,
Defensive
watching,
kinda,
right?
yeah.
Like
Protecting the
right,
children,
right?
Makes
of
sense.
course.
Just kind of keeping an eye on them. We've never seen her, but it was multiple psychics on different tours, different years that do not know each other said the exact same thing, which was pretty cool. And they're not like psychics that we knew; they were just people that were on the tour and like, hey, sometimes I can pick up on things and like this is what I'm getting. Which we get those on tour sometimes, but those two, like a couple of the stories just lined up too good. The school area, they had a classroom in the basement here, so the kids went to school here. They lived a normal life. They were just here.
that's what I always say. Imagine you have tuberculosis and you have math homework.
Sorry, dude,
Oh,
not doing
no.
it. Not doing the homework.
I would be like, it's a big no for me, dog.
Sorry, I'm gonna go on the playground. That's all.
Yeah.
They used to have swing set out back.
One of those big metal slides that you get like fit screen and burns from.
Yeah, 110 degrees. They're
Oh.
like, you got TB, you want to burn?
Yeah.
Jeez.
5
But yeah, a
minutes.
lot of good stuff down here. So
Okay.
All right, so that's going to be a wrap on the podcast episode of the Saratoga County Homestead, as I like to call it. Yeah, with all our homies. Fitting, right? How's everyone feeling about tonight? You think it's going to be sketchy? Weird.
I wonder if we're gonna feel any like warm spots because usually it's cold spots for ghosts, but maybe they like the heat. I don't know.
Oh, maybe.
I just hope I don't poop on a shirt.
me too. What?
There's your warm
Like
spot.
we've investigated up here once so far this year.
Yeah.
So we haven't
Oh,
been up
okay.
It's
at all.
it's fresh.
It's fresh.
It's-
We're ready.
It's fresh.
Last time we took a break like that and came up here to film, they weren't too happy. So I guess we'll find out.
Oh, well, we're about to get into
I'm
some...
in danger.
We're about to get into some absolute shenanigans, but stay tuned because you're about to see a sneak peek of the crazy shit we get into in a moment here. But we appreciate you guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and we will see you next week.
Buy the merch.
Buy it!
Get that bell on.
Look.
Where should we look?
Beneath.
Beneath. So are you saying we should go into the basement?
Not wise. They started.
Not wise to go to the basement.
Don't go.
So it really sounds like they don't want us to go into the basement.
Right.
So I think we should go into the basement a bit.
Walter.
No, already.
Lexi.
Oh.
Nick.
How are we 3 for 3 on names right now?
Leave.
Did you hear that?
Homestead.
My stomach.
Someone's stomach.
No, it wasn't mine.
I thought it was yours.
I
thought it was
wasn't mine.
yours.
I'm looking at you because I thought it
There
was.
is
No, I thought
no
it was
way.
yours.
There is no way
I
that
would
wasn't
100%
the
thought
stomach.
it was not my stomach.
I thought it was yours.
I would 100%
Dustin?
thought it was yours.
That wasn't me. That's why I
It
looked
came
at
from this direction too.
I thought it was you.
It was not them.
I was 100%
I
sure.
looked-
Did you just make a noise?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
That's actually kind of crazy.
Kind of weird. It was like a little kid's voice. It was like, did you hear her?
Dude, that's
What the fuck was that?
no shot in hell that just
What
happened.
was that?
That was crazy.